The forever forward incremental backup method is going to produce what's called a backup chain. And that consists of the first full backup file, known as a VBK file, and a set of forward incremental backup files saved as VIB files. During the first session of a backup job, Veeam Backup and Replication is going to create a full backup in the backup repository. The next jobs that run after that, Veeam is going to only copy any VM data blocks that have changed since the last backup job session. And it's going to save these blocks as incremental backup files in the backup chain. After adding a new restore point to the backup chain, Veeam is going to check the retention policy for the job. If Veeam detects an outdated restore point, it transforms the backup chain to make room for the most recent restore point. Would the forever backup option be a good fit for you using Veeam? Well, let me tell you a little bit about my own experience using incremental backups along with the full backup where things didn't go quite so well. I needed to restore data using a combination of a full and multiple incremental backups. One of those incremental backups had failed, and it had a critical file that I needed in order to do the restoration, and the job could not be fully restored. Incremental backups are kept as separate backup jobs, whereas forever incremental backups are congregated into a single backup where I can do that restoration all from one backup job. If a corrupt file was found in one incremental backup, then it would have run another incremental backup of that file the next chance it had to create a complete forever incremental backup. I'm in the Veeam application, and this really only works on non-agent backups. So in other words, for virtual machine backups. So I'm going to right click and choose the edit option, and the wizard will pop up. I'm going to go right down to where it says storage on the left-hand side. There's a link on each one of those options, so you can just jump right to them. In order to make any changes for the forever incremental backup, I need to go to Advanced. And here you can see the incremental, which is recommended. So under the description, you can see that incrementals are going to be saved into new files that are dependent on previous files in the chain. Incremental backups are much faster than doing a full backup or a differential backup, which isn't even offered with Veeam as it is with certain other third-party applications. I'm going to click on Configure, and you can see it's going to configure on every day, weekdays, or on these days. So you can set that up for days or months. And here you can see the create synthetic full backups periodically on whatever day that is, and that's where you click on the configure button. These synthetic backups are what make the forever forward incremental backup method work. So what it'll do is it will take the last full backup and then it will match it up with all the incremental backups to create the most recent backup. Now, you don't want to have too many incremental backups after your full backup because they do depend on each other. So if you end up with some bad incremental backups, then it might be difficult to get the entire backup with the most up-to-date files. So that's why you do have to click that configure button to run a full backup every now and then. And that will definitely help out with your forever forward backups. If I cancel this and go to my agent backup, that's where we do more of a brick by brick type of a backup. And you can set this up either on a virtual machine or a physical one, but it makes more sense to do this on a physical server. So that way you can restore those files in a more traditional way. Whereas a virtual machine, you have a lot more options for restoration, such as the instant restoration option with Veeam that makes it better to do without the agent. So if I click on storage here and choose advanced, you don't see the same options that you do when you choose the virtual machine backup that was just shown. Here we see the synthetic backup option, but it's not the forever forward or reverse type of option that we just saw. So the forever forward incrementals, along with the synthetic backups on a virtual machine, can always provide the latest backup when a restoration is needed.